Your supervisor, sir, question for you then. Actually, there's a second thing that may have to be done. Sorry, we have a minute. Hi. Oh, sorry.
I only live right over.
Couldn't remember.
Right over behind. We're already, I'll be here to the next one because they have enough to say.
Chris just.
I don't have to advise.
Because technically, so I mean, Chris, I don't know if you know what you think. He's married to my best friend's sister. Very, very.
To take the lead.
But,
I always won't be at state. No. I guess he was on vacation.
Under the wall, actually. So that was there's some municipalities where I'm Chris. And rather. You don't have to do anything. I just want. You. Okay, then they don't need to do it.
Yeah.
Because I was so.
Chris recommended you.
Because so if I was a vacancy appointment, I don't need it.
Right. Yeah, you know Scott. But I don't know. Did you talk to Scott before?
I might be able to go my teeth.
Scott, right? Okay. The reason he's not here is he's on vacation.
Okay, so they can appoint him as chair.
Yeah, somebody's gonna have to.
Okay. All right.
Can we appoint Scott?
Yeah, you can. If he's not here, you can still appoint him, and then just somebody for tonight will act as vice, then do a vice chair, and that person will act in there instead. Okay? Sorry, Gretchen. You're good to go when you're ready, guys. And I can walk you through the process. If
Yeah,
you
you're
want me
gonna
to.
have to.
Okay, it's all right.
We're not familiar with it.
No, I'll take care of it. I will say what the motion sounds like, and you guys can first make it, say I make that motion, and then somebody can second it. Okay?
So, pledge of allegiance?
What? Technically speaking, all right, I'll start out. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we get a few brief administrative matters, now is the time and place that has been publicly advertised for the Zoning Hearing Board of Windsor Township, designated tonight as Thursday, July 30th, 2026 at 7 p.m. The board does have to do a brief reorganization, so if my understanding is correct, the gentleman, what is the gentleman who's going to be the president?
Scott Thren.
Okay. I believe a motion is going to be, someone is going to make a motion for the board to appoint Scott Thren as chair of the zoning hearing board for Windsor Township.
I'll make a motion to appoint Scott Thren as
Okay.
chairman.
Second.
All right, motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, Scott Thren is appointed as the chair of the Windsor Township Zoning Hearing Board, and you'll need a motion now to appoint a vice chair.
Make a motion.
Make a motion to nominate Joe Phillips for that position, vice chair.
Second.
Seconded by Ford. All right, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none? All right, your board is reorganized. Just to begin, there is a hearing scheduled for tonight. Now is the time and place that has been designated for the Windsor Township Zoning Hearing Board to conduct a public hearing at the time of Thursday, July 30th, 2026, 7 p.m. regarding the application of DH Real Estate Holdings LLC with a mailing address of 188 Virginville Road, Hamburg, PA 19526 for the property located at 16590 Pottsville Pike, Hamburg, Berks County, PA, with the parcel ID numbers 944, 941, 433, 235 Farnham 1, and 944, 494, 143, 32308. Seeking relief via variance, special exception, and/or interpretation from the following zone of C2 within the Windsor Township zoning ordinance. Before we begin, I'd like to mark the following exhibits for the record. Exhibit A is the application of the applicant with all exhibits. Exhibit B is the public notice of tonight's hearing. Exhibit C is the proof of posting and a photograph documenting said proof. Exhibit D is the proof of advertisement of tonight's hearing scheduled from the Reading Eagle. And Exhibit E is the zoning ordinance as amended by Windsor Township's Board of Supervisors. Are you here on behalf of the applicant, ma'am?
Yes, Gretchen Stearns. I'd like to enter my appearance on behalf of BH Real Estate Holdings LLC.
Okay. And do you have any objection to the exhibits I've added into the record?
No objection.
Okay. And then briefly, are there any audience members here who wish to become a party to tonight's hearing? Okay. Just so you understand, if anybody wishes to have party status, they may enter their party status at this time, which will allow them to question witnesses and to provide their own documentary evidence. Should they not wish to do that, they will still be allowed to, any person will still be allowed to make a public statement at the end of the meeting in favor or in opposition to the applicant's application. Mr. Chair, the administrative business of your board is ready to go. I would suggest you call the applicant up and ask them to begin their case.
Okay. Could the applicant please come up and plead their case?
Thank you. Again, Attorney Gretchen Stearns, I'm here on behalf of the applicant. Just a brief overview to start. BH Real Estate Holdings is looking to operate a daycare center within Windsor Township at the 16590 Pottsville Pike address. This property has previously been office use, and daycares are allowed in this general commercial zoning district, so the use is allowed by right. There's some additional requirements, though, for daycare centers within your ordinance, and one of those is that the minimum lot size would be 2 acres. This lot size, even considering the 2 tax parcels, is 1.5 acres. So we are short on size for a daycare center. Now, there are existing structures. My client's not proposing any new structures or new configuration, just going to put in a play area, which we'll get to in the testimony. We didn't create the lot, it wasn't subdivided, and it's been a commercial use for some time, but it doesn't meet the requirements of your ordinance, specifically as to lot size for a daycare center, which is the variance we're here asking for tonight. So with that, I'd like to call Cheryl Abrams, who is my witness for this evening.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your name for the record.
Cheryl Abrams,
Can you please spell that?
CHERYL ABRAMS.
Thank you.
Ms. Abrams, would you state your address for the record?
211 Browning Road, Lancaster.
And you're a representative of BH Real Estate Holdings?
Yes,
Are you familiar with the subject property?
yes.
And what does BH Real Estate Holdings intend to do with the property?
Make it into a daycare center.
And for the exhibits in Exhibit A, there is a deed. It's currently owned by the Shaners, correct?
Correct.
And is BH Real Estate Holdings the current tenant of the property?
Yes,
And that's pursuant to the terms of the lease that are part of the board's Exhibit A.
correct.
Now, the property is located at 16590 Pottsville Pike?
Correct.
Okay. And what's the total size of the property with both parcels?
1.5 acres.
And it's in the general commercial zoning district?
Correct.
What is the current use of the property?
It's offices.
And what would BH Real Estate Holdings like to use it for?
Daycare center.
Now, is BH proposing any new additions, structural changes, anything of that nature at the property?
No.
I'm going to turn your attention to the photograph that was included in the application. I provided some larger copies for the board's view, and maybe you could hold that up, ma'am, and so the board can see it. Could you identify where Pottsville Pike is, just so we can get our bearings straight on this?
Also like here.
On the very bottom?
Bottom.
Okay. And can you show us where the current building is on the property?
Here. Up here.
The building itself?
Here.
Okay, so a
Here.
dark, almost dark brown roof?
Right.
And is there available off-street parking at the property?
There is, right here.
And there's an area in a blue rectangle. What is that?
That would be for the playground.
And that doesn't exist now, right?
Right,
Okay. Would there be a fence around this playground?
yes,
I just want to go over some of the other requirements in the ordinances for daycares. Is it your intention that B&H would operate the daycare center in a manner that reduces or eliminates hazards to the children?
we would not, yeah, we would know.
You're going to reduce hazards to the best of your
Yes,
ability?
Yes, yes,
Going back to the play area, is it at least 40 feet from all the lot lines?
yes,
Okay. And it's centered on the property?
correct.
With respect to the existing building, will there be at least 30 square feet of floor space and 250 cubic feet of airspace for every child at your daycare?
Yes,
And the outdoor activity area, is it large enough to have 65 square feet of space per child?
yes,
Finally, prior to opening, will the daycare otherwise comply and receive all necessary licenses with all county, state, and federal laws?
yes.
Was this lot created for your use? Did B&H create this lot in a subdivision or anything?
No, it was already there,
It was already that 1.5 acre size
Yes.
when you started to lease it?
yes.
And are there other businesses up and down 61 that this will fit with the character of this neighborhood?
Yes. Mhm.
Will the requested variance to operate this property as a daycare allow for reasonable use at this property?
Yes.
And did the applicant do anything to create any hardship here, make the lot smaller, sell property
No.
off?
No.
Is there anything about operating this property as a daycare that you would see is going to impair any of your neighbors from using their property?
No.
Anything about the use of the property as a daycare that's going to be hazardous to the neighborhood or public welfare in general?
No.
Nothing unusual about this daycare compared to any other daycare?
Correct.
Do you think using this property as a daycare is in harmony with the general purposes of this ordinance?
Yes.
And is this variance you're requesting tonight the minimum variance you would need to have relief from the zoning ordinance and use the property?
Yes.
I have no further questions for Ms. Abrams.
Does the board have any questions for the witness?
Yeah, what did you say the usable square footage, floor space and airspace was?
30 square feet.
Go ahead.
30 square feet
Okay. Yeah. I
Per
think-
child.
yes.
I thought the PA minimum was 40 square feet, not counting bathrooms, hallways, because the PA doesn't do airspace.
Your ordinance says 30. It
So
will be
ordinance is
more
30.
than 30, but whatever they need to get the state permit, they will do.
Yes, that would be, yeah, the ordinance is 30, the state permit would be 40 square
If
feet.
the
So
state-
your ordinance is actually more restrictive under 509.3.
Yeah.
So your client would accept the 30 regardless
Yes.
of that?
Yes, the applicant intends to do 30 that is in your ordinance, and we are not
Got
asking
it.
for a variance from that.
I've got a couple. Obviously, the main building frame, that'll be the main portion of where the children will be when they're not outside, correct? All right. just,
Yes.
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 aligning
It's
my
your
thought. And the play area, again, is not existing currently, but is to be built with sand fencing and play area thing.
Yes.
And all minimum 40 feet from each line. Has the existing neighbors, I believe that's a house to the left of the property, is that a residential home or is that a business? The lighter roof. I have a KRE Security LLC. There's two buildings there. Are they both businesses or home?
I'm not sure.
I can tell you.
Yeah.
Can you
Uh,
state
that
your
would be
name?
helpful.
Hold on,
If you're
hold on,
facing-
hold on,
Wait,
hold on,
wait,
hold on.
state your name, please.
Can you please state your name for the record?
Harold Stewart, I'm I'm one of the neighbors.
Okay. So if you don't mind, and could you state your address for the record as well?
16570 Topsville Pike.
And you're here in favor of the applicant?
Yeah, I don't care what they do. I mean, I got 2 notices, so I figured Shayna or Steve or somebody needed my input, so I came.
Okay,
Because I'm friends, I've known Shayna for years and I'm good friends with Steve, so.
all right, if that's the case, could you answer the question that was asked by our?
If you're from the highway facing the building to the left, to the right, with the green roof is my house. That's a private house. The big building to the left, with the big white roof, that is now a security service. They just took it over a couple weeks ago, well, about a month or 2 ago.
So no, you won't have any issues with
No, I
children
have no
playing and
problem
having
with anything
fun?
they do, no.
Okay.
I'm just curious if they know how many children are involved in it.
That was going to the next question. Is there a maximum child limitation?
There's no maximum at this time, but it will meet that 30 square feet. Not sure at this time exactly, when we do some interior renovations, how much space will be available, but it will be below the requirement of your ordinance of 30 square feet per child.
Okay, but does there need to be a maximum established?
So the answer to that is, I was actually going to say, would the applicant will be willing to accept the condition that they comply? I mean, it's part of our ordinance under 509.6, but the applicant would be willing to accept the condition that they comply with all state regulatory rules as to the number of maximum children based on footage.
Yes.
So,
Fair enough.
and our ordinance does not have that,
Right.
but because the state regulations supersede in that case, they can't be on that, they lose their license.
Okay, got that. And I assume Hamburg needs more childcare because of a lot of women working. Is that probably the main reason driving for
But it
this?
was a good location
Okay.
yeah.
And you've got enough applicants fairly soon that will be able to start fulfilling?
Once the renovations and things are finished.
Joe, any questions?
I only have one. As far as the off-street parking spaces, it does say in section 509 that the parking shall comply with the requirements in section 606 of our ordinance. Do you know if they do?
I don't remember what that section is off the top of my head, but we did look at it when we made the application. Did not feel a variance was necessary. This will be the only use in the building, and as you can see on the photograph, there's 2 rows adjacent to the building, and then there's at least 1 more row against the property line with KRE security, which we believe would be more than sufficient to meet the requirements of the ordinance.
Yeah, the funny thing is, when you did your presentation, that was the question I was going to ask, just to fill in that blank, but go ahead.
Can you state your name, please?
Ryan Western.
Tell me to swear in.
Yeah.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
The building was 2 offices at one point, correct?
Correct.
And you plan on renovating that
Yes,
building?
into one use.
So you plan on pulling building permits?
Yes,
Which would give you a maximum occupant load for the building for the type of use you will have?
yes. And a permit for the fence.
Well, are you aware also that playgrounds are now regulated through the ADA code?
Yes.
So you'll need to follow all ADA accessibility for the playground as well?
Yes.
And then last thing is, are you aware that KR Security has a gun range in the rear of the property?
No.
Okay.
You were? No.
I'm just making.
We will, yeah, we'll consult with them about when their use and what their hours are, to make sure that that doesn't interfere with playground hours.
Yeah, sure.
But I appreciate that we were not aware of that.
Yeah, I've had a lot of complaints from Alton, so I want to make you aware as well.
Not necessarily a zoning issue, but one that I'm probably glad you heard about.
They are, legally obligated. They can have one.
No, I was going to say, no, but I meant it's not necessarily a zoning issue
Oh,
for the applicant. but-
Sorry, I apologize.
Yes.
No, but by all means.
We appreciate you letting us know.
Yeah. And last question real quick, are you aware of the PennDOT, the whole they're gonna do the work on that frontage of that road,
Yes.
and they're gonna expand, so you'll probably lose some frontage there a little bit. Okay, I
Yeah.
just wanna make sure that no issues.
They won't lose no frontage, you're just gonna lower everything.
2.5 feet,
Yeah,
you'll lose 2.5 feet.
yeah.
Yeah, the parking does not front on 61, so I don't,
I-
at most, we might lose 1 or 2 spaces, but I don't think it's gonna be.
I don't think,
Yeah.
your parking spaces look just fine, I was there earlier, so I don't think you'll have an issue there.
And I was gonna say, for the record, then, would it be easier, the applicant understands that if you were to go below that parking threshold, you would require a variance for that parking, correct?
Yes, but I would note that the whole back of the parcel is wooded. I believe we could add some more parking behind the playground if we needed to.
Understood, and.
But we agree that we would comply with whatever the parking requirement is in your ordinance.
Under section 606. Okay.
One last thing, just will you have a regulated in and out for traffic, so nothing backs up onto 61?
Like a
for
drop-off plan,
Yeah, if you have
yes.
a drop-off plan, or will be submitted, or something of that nature?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah,
thank you, just because it's a dangerous highway,
right.
thank you.
Well, so they may require, they probably already have a highway occupancy permit, I would assume, but if not, they would be required to get that from PennDOT.
It's probably already there, because.
I would guess it is, so, but PennDOT may have that.
We can check, we can double check that the use volume is appropriate for our
Yeah.
use.
I believe the use volume would be appropriate, yes. I just thought if we had a traffic plan that you would submit, we could see to make sure if the drop-off need to be a little further up, so they just didn't back onto 61. Just trying to cover all angles, that's all.
Any other questions from the board?
One may or may not be pertaining, that is the lease a 1 year or 10-year, what's the length of the contract for
Remember?
leasing for the business?
$10 years.
10 years.
And there are some
So
renewal options as well.
Paragraph 4
Yeah.
is 10 years along with 2 renewal options.
And you will see in the lease, PennDOT is using a portion of that property. They have a few months left on their lease, so we will be sharing the space with PennDOT for a short period of time. But as soon as their lease is not being renewed, it's month to month. As soon as they're done, then it will take up the whole space. So you'll see that in the lease, but just to be clear, we do have to wait a little bit for them to vacate.
Any other questions from the board?
I don't have any.
And ironically, like I said, Joe asked the one question, I wanted to make sure your application was complete. I was gonna ask about the parking, but since you would consent to that, that's all. All right, do you have, anybody from the audience have any questions for this witness? All right, hearing none. It sounds like, does anybody wish to make a closing statement as well from the audience? All right. Attorney Stern?
We appreciate the board's time, and again, we think this is a good fit for the commercial district. It's just that the lot, as we found it, is not quite big enough for your ordinance. So we think we can meet all the other requirements. We think it's a good location for this. It's just not quite big enough, so we would appreciate your consideration of a variance to operate a daycare on a lot that's 1.5 acres. Thank you.
All right. Gentlemen, if you want to, we can retire to the back there and you can, so just, again, this is the first meeting with this board, letting everybody know, so some things are still a little bit in flux. We're going to go back behind there and have a brief executive session to discuss the matter and then hopefully render an oral verdict tonight and then a written decision would issue within 45 days.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it would actually be considered north side.
North side.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, just wanted to mention that,
yeah, I'm on the east side.
because called me.
What are the chances?
No, it's a security team, so it's like, once a month.
Do the whole.
Once a month.
8 months
It has it all, it's facing away, it's not.
Yard apart.
But if it's once a month, if he calls when that's the day, that might not be an outdoor day.
I'm just-
Is it like during the weekday, is it a weekend day?
I don't know. All I know is when it happens, I get calls from Al.
Oh.
So what are they? They're gonna,
And I tried to, when I first thought, I was like, oh, this is in our
whole
zoning.
bank with.
But there's some state, it's like timber harvesting.
I'm not allowed to.
Ah,
There's a
you
state
can't
law,
really-
You can't regulate it. It's a, like, it's a given rate or something. So like, we took them to court and they were like, no. You can't, as long as they have a backstop, that's approved by the state police and somebody's game.
Check
it?
Wall has to
Yeah.
come out. I'm not allowed to have any of that there.
I was like, so if I have an acre, I can put a backstop anywhere and just start shooting my, I was like, I feel like that's not, I feel like there's an argument to be had there.
So if the right of way acts.
It's 25 foot for me.
But I don't get that.
The neighbor to the, if you're facing my property from the highway, the neighbor to the right, their right of way is only 15 feet, okay? Mine is 25 feet.
So from your
But-
front door to the right of way, how many feet's left on your property?
Yeah.
How many feet do you have left from your front door to the?
To the right of way.
Yeah,
From my front door to the right of way, I think it's gonna come out like 15 or 20 feet.
and you're gonna level.
Then they're gonna level it down.
They are gonna take them away.
Yeah. That's what they claim
You
anyway.
have a walk through from your front door
Yeah.
to your mailbox,
Yeah,
and they're taking that out.
yep. Yep, I'm not allowed to have any concrete there or anything like that, that's what they're telling me. But
So does all the neighbors know that around there?
I'm the only one that's getting anything done. Mine's the only thing getting anything done over.
All the others are leaving.
No, yeah, everything's gonna stay the same for everybody else. Mine's the only one that's getting tore down because I can't have the cement in front. I couldn't figure it out. I went through hell, they were gonna tear my driveway apart. They were gonna tear half my driveway
You're
apart.
not nice to them, or you're-
No, I'm the only one singled out.
I had no idea.
Okay.
Now, what do you have to do with all this?
Well, I know the other side of the story here, and I'm just trying to get to the bottom of the facts, that's all. So the neighbors have been notified.
I have no idea. I don't,
So, sort of.
yeah, I just know, I was talking to the guy from the highway, and he, so I forget his last name, his first name is mine. I don't know that stuff yet, but, I don't know if I have his name. Oh, I just have it.
No, it doesn't.
I have his number in my phone, but I just have to listen to the highway guy. Because for months we were going over this, they wanted to take my driveway
Right.
and
If you were
to have
building
my
something
driveway
new,
apart,
you'd
and
be
now
able
we're
just
down
to
in,
do it.
right
So
now, why are we doing
here's my question, this is, my lot is 61.
Especially because we don't
Yeah.
have a full.
This is your house, okay?
Okay,
There's a, and the right of way, let's say, is right here. The right of way is here, and this is your house, okay, 15 feet.
I think it was the
next
PennDOT
house-
guy that took down my
Doesn't
sign.
matter.
Yeah.
Relatively in this area.
Posted the zoning
One house
on the-
maybe this
Oh, and he
way.
took it down?
Yeah, he took it down.
but they were after the next property.
Okay.
Boy, if you did that to their signs, man, their postings.
So
Oh,
why are they singling your property?
I can't
over
take
the
it.
next property?
Because mine has the bank and the stone steps and the stone wall, they don't have them.
Okay.
I don't remember, I think it's in Greece.
That's why. Because I have the stone steps in the
There would be
front
like-
and I have
there's like
the
an
stone
initial-
wall, and that has
It
to
changes
come
the
down.
rent, obviously.
I'm not allowed to
So there's
stone.
like an initial rent.
Even
But the
though
next house, here's my question.
KRA had that big bank,
The
and they banked the houses on the right of way.
Yeah, full term is 10
Bank,
years.
okay.
Their bank, and their house, the front porch is actually on the right of way.
Right.
But nothing's being done about that, but mine has to be tore down.
So if you remove the walls, they'll let you go.
They're tearing my, they're doing all the work themselves, I'm not
So
doing
my
it.
point is, one of the houses in that area has a lamppost in the way.
have you done any data centers yet?
A lamppost.
Yeah,
Okay,
Any-
well, there's other houses that
No.
don't have a lamppost?
I managed to
that's my
dodge
house.
Oh,
Yeah.
So that wall, that retaining wall there is.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Like cell
Yeah,
tower,
all the
yeah, not
steps.
data center.
another bit.
That's gotta come out.
So here's my.
I got
Too
immense,
populated.
Okay,
I got
I'm just
immense
gonna-
domain
I'm
going
just
on,
curious, are you
you know, it's like turning into a nightmare.
Oh, really? What time?
Yeah, they wanna go right
So here,
through
this is
Penn
your
Forest,
property right
Mahoney,
here.
like right up over the mountain, they wanna cut
Here.
right through the mountain,
That
like
tree
just all
right
it
there.
down for the line, cause that
See,
big one.
That's not mine, that's
I-
the
I-
name of the
I-
left.
I
Outside
understand.
Parkland, they wanna do
Your
that big one,
understanding
and
is
they wanna run the
that
line
tree
from
there.
Wilkes-Barre, and it's like, the towers are crazy.
Wow.
They gotta put like these
They're only
extra,
relying on
it's
for
all
that
blinky towers because
cement
they're so
slab,
hot.
cement
The
wall.
problem was
So
when
what
parts
I
of
did
it
was-
go over some of the
But now
mining
they
areas,
also told me
and
they're
I've
gonna
been
turn the
meeting with
bushes
some of
out,
mining
and their
clients,
property
and
in front.
on a map, it looks fine, like, you understand this is a stripping.
Say that again?
Yeah, that's
You gotta-
Yeah.
How
So
tall
it
are
goes
your
like
poles?
this on the mountain,
Gotta go
yeah.
down through that bush. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's interesting.
Yeah.
But mine's gotta be leveled down because of the cement steps and the cement wall and the post.
Not that much.
They're gonna well, it don't make sense to me if you know what they're.
I didn't want to interrupt. It sounded like you were deeply engaged in the conversation.
I just came in.
Since you're the chair for tonight, do you want to say we're back on the record?
Okay, how do you want me to present that?
You just say we're back on the record.
Okay, we're back on the record.
Sorry, guys, still working through some things. I believe a motion is about to be made, or I believe you're going to be making a motion. The motion would be as follows: a motion to approve the application of the applicant with the following conditions: that the applicant comply with all state regulations regarding the usage and operation of daycare centers at this facility, and that the applicant comply with all other portions of the zoning ordinance should it be required. They would require an additional variance if there were any modifications. I believe that is the formulation of the motion, Mr. Chair.
That's correct.
My second?
Nope, somebody has to make the motion.
I'll make the motion.
My second.
Discussion?
Say hearing none.
Hearing none?
Call the vote. You call the vote.
All those in favor?
There you go.
Aye.
Aye. Ayes
Opposed?
have it.
Opposed?
Opposed? Okay, ayes have it.
Then I believe you just need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second it. All those,
Aye.
Good? Yep, you're good.
Thank you.
We got them through their first one, guys.